My name's Sheila Hansen, and I'm one of the partners for this project. And we're going to start by having two of our partners kind of introduce our project, and then we'll have the groundbreaking. And we thank all of you for being here, and I'd like to turn the time over to Stuart Gregory.
So I want to thank everybody who's showing up. As a matter of fact, it's a great turnout. Looks like I appreciate the chamber being here, and also is it Brandon with the city? Appreciate you being here representing the city, and of course our builder, and then also Jay with the bank, and of course then all my family, and but most especially I appreciate the Redfords and also the Hansons. This has kind of been a 2-year. I started off 2 years ago. Kind of got that great idea of trying to get into the storage business, and one thing led to another, and kind of went through a few partners, and finally we found the perfect partnership. And Kim Menlove was kind of like right at the beginning stages of that whole deal, so I appreciate you also. And anyway, kind of want to tell you a little bit about it. It's about 94,990 square feet of storage units, 550 units. We'll have climate control. We'll also have indoor RV storage, and it's all going to be all state of the art. So it's going to be we wanted to make sure it was something that would also do really well when it comes to the city of Spanish Fork, and make it look nice when it comes to entering in this part of the valley. So it'll be a fortress type storage unit from at least from Highway 6. You won't be able to see too much, knowing that it's going to be a storage unit, but it'll also have a lot of shrubbery and trees and beautification when it comes to the actual storage unit. But anyway, we're excited. We're also very excited to be part of Spanish Fork. We really appreciate all they did for us when it came to all that preparatory approvals and everything else, and also really appreciate First National Bank helping us get to this point. Anyway, I really appreciate also before I hand this over to Jeff, but Ken Hansen and Sheila from the very beginning. It was kind of you can't imagine. It was kind of a hard thing to start off with, and trying to come up with the vision of the storage unit. But anyway, it turned out well. But anyway, here's Jeff.
We're very grateful for the opportunity and working with the city of Spanish Fork to be able to have made this all come together for us. There was quite a few challenges with this particular piece of property, with getting a highway access, and as well as the utilities that run through here, and be able to navigate through all that. Ken has been wonderful, Ken Hansen, and anyway, I just wanted to also mention and point out that it's been a real pleasure working with these people, with the Gregorys, the Hansons, and with Kim and I. We've really appreciated that. The city of Spanish Fork has been excellent to work with. They've just been very positive, very encouraging, and helping us to be able to find solutions when problems have come up and arisen, to be able to navigate through those. So other than that, we're excited about the 550 storage units that are going to be going in, that will help provide a place for people of Spanish Fork to be able to put their things, and we're just excited.
So now we have the official groundbreaking for Spanish Fork Self-Storage LLC. Go for it. Woohoo!
All right.
Yay!
Hello, Spanish Fork. I'm Todd Dickerson. I'm the 2017 Chamber President. And with me I have Katrina Kimball, our Vice President, and Lance Wilson, our past President. Today we are doing a groundbreaking ceremony for Spanish Fork Self-Storage. Rather than trying to introduce all of these people to you, I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, and we'll start with this fine gentleman here, Stuart, correct?
Yep, correct. Stuart Gregory, one of the owners and developers.
Ken Hansen, one of the owners and developers.
And I'm Jeff Redford, one of the owners and developers as well.
Jay Smith, First National Bank. I provided the financing for the construction and long-term for this project.
Ken Menlove with Menlove Construction. We are the general contractor.
I think we're going to start with Ken. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how this all came to fruition, and how you chose this location, and how this has all come together to where we are now, Ken?
We're located right here at the mouth of Spanish Fork Canyon, and for the residents of Spanish Fork who've lived here a while, you may remember the old cherry shack that used to be here. We bought that property from Ernest and Marilyn Hell several years ago, and ever since then, we've been trying to figure out what we wanted to do with the property. We had some initial ideas, but it takes a tremendous amount of capital to build commercial property. And so got with Stuart and Jeff here, and we came up with some ideas and decided that since storage facilities haven't been allowed to be built in Spanish Fork for the past 9 years, we worked with Dave Anderson, and he came up with a way that we could utilize this piece of property. You know, it's kind of irregular in shape, but it has a great location, and we were able to get some zoning adjustments made so that we were allowed to provide the residents of Spanish Fork with some storage. We had a lot of hoops to jump through. The city was wonderful. Dave Anderson, Seth Perrins, Kimberly Brenneman there at the city, and the list goes on and on. Chris Thompson. In order for us to be successful, we needed to secure financing, and we teamed up with Jay with First National Bank, and we needed the best developer around in regard to storage, so we teamed up with Ken Menlove. He's built more storage facilities that are Class A style than anybody else in Utah, and that's kind of how it happened.
Ken, why don't you tell us, kind of give us a little timeline. When do you guys expect to break ground and have everything up and running?
Well, we plan on breaking ground beginning of next week. We're going to start with some site utility work and get going there. The weather has finally opened up for us, and the site is dry enough now that we can start. And the project should take about 1 year to complete as far as all of the buildings being done 100%. But we should be up and open by the end of this year as far as having some of the units ready to rent and having a full office, you know, in operation. So we're excited to be here and working with the city.
Wonderful. Okay, Todd, I'll turn it back to you.
It's Jeff, correct?
Yes.
Jeff, can you give us some insight on how the city was to work with on a project such as this?
Well, the land had a lot of challenges that came with it, and the city has been wonderful every step of the way. When we finally came up and went to the city and talked to them about this idea, they were very, very positive in trying to find an avenue or a way to be able to make that happen. And so every single zoning and planning meeting, and when it finally went to the city council, everybody was on board with it. They could see the need for, first, just really nice storage facilities that will be here to service the area around here in Spanish Fork. And along with that, just the fact that everybody kind of came together as a team to be able to help make this process work like it did was outstanding. And so on a developer side, this has been great. The city of Spanish Fork, there's never been a city that I've ever worked with in the past that's ever been as accommodating as Spanish Fork has been.
Well, that's great news. Can you tell us how you chose your financial backing? Is there one of you that is more adept at that than others? And you're with First National Bank, is that correct?
It was probably about 2 years ago. I'm also in the auto industry, and there was a person that came in from one of their representatives from the bank that introduced himself to me. Anyway, needless to say, he ended up purchasing a vehicle. One thing led to another, and then also he referred me to Jay Smith down at First National Bank, and that was history. So anyway.
Okay, Spanish Fork, this is a great location for this. You're going to see this property here that's sat vacant for years get a lot of improvements. It's going to appeal very well as people are coming out of the canyon. It's also great for RV parking. This is a gateway to Lake Powell and Canyonlands, all kinds of different places you can go through Highway 6 here. So it's a great place to store your RV, and they'll have plenty of that available as well. So we want to thank SF17 for filming this event and the residents of Spanish Fork. Have a good day.